Yo, we are back for swap 3. Well, 2 if you're counting what I got posted on YouTube. Swap 3 for me since the S10 is not on YouTube. 93 OBS Chevy, actually really clean. Engine runs really well. Just a stock 350 700 R4. This swap should be fairly easy. Let's look at the truck and then we'll go over the parts list. That's basically what all this video will be about, is just what parts I'll be using and just kind of looking over the truck. But he is also getting a 6.0. This is supposed to be an LQ9. We'll find out. I'm doing cam. I'm doing a small cam. And it's getting a rebuilt 4L65E, which is a little bit better than just your typical 4L60. 4L60, 4L65, and 4L70. They all look the same. It's the same exact transmission externally. We'll talk about the cam here in a minute when I show it to y'all, but pretty clean truck. The guy's dad bought it new in 93, and now he wants to drop an LS in it and make it more drivable. Oh, it's locked. Oh, there's Zoe. She's running to the door because she doesn't like when I start up vehicles. But I'm not doing that this time. Oh, this also has working factory AC. And the AC blows nice and cold too. Which I'll be installing a cheap AC bracket I'll show y'all to mount this stock compressor. But this is what it looks like. This is the before, I guess we'll call it. I'll be hooking up an electric fan, but on these trucks, I mean, I don't see why you can't just run the stock fan that's on the motor and just leave that stock fan shroud. But can't use this one, it's broken. So we're putting just a cheap aftermarket radiator and the typical electric fan like I showed y'all in the last truck. He actually had a dual fan set up. He had a dual fan set up with a shroud that he got off Amazon that said it fit that year model with that radiator, and it was way too long. I gave it back to him, or else I would show y'all which one it is so that you don't order it, but it definitely didn't fit. So I think he's getting another fan shipped to me, but I don't know, we're not there yet anyway, so it don't matter. But let's go over some of the parts I got. These are long tubes that I sent him off of Summit. It didn't look like shipping. Watch out! Hey, watch out! Doesn't look like shipping treated these too well. They're set a Schoenfeld. They're like 3 something on Summit. Now, as far as I know from what I've read, is that any long tubes you get for these, just like the C10 I just did, you have to move the engine back an inch, which means move transmission cross member, and you move, and the drive shaft will have to be shortened. Now these didn't specify that, but the cheaper there's actually a cheaper set of headers you can get that specifically said you have to move the engine back an inch. And I was like, well, you can run shorties but it's harder to get an out of the box bolt-in system, exhaust system for shorties. It's much easier to get them for long tubes. So he went ahead and spent, I think it was only like an extra $150 on these long tubes. I'm trying to find the part number. But if you just type in, if you go to Summit Racing and you type in, no, there's no part number. And you just type in your truck year, which would be any of the 90s models, and then you type in LS swap headers or headers for LS. These will pop up, show and field, and they're like $330 or something like that. So that's headers. He's keeping the stock oil pan, which I recommended probably not to do. It'll be perfectly fine in this truck because it's stock height, but obviously he mentioned maybe lowering it some in the front and the rear because he wants to give it more that SS look since he already has the SS wheels. But he wanted to keep the stock oil pan, so that's what we're doing. Let me show you the cam. This is actually a fairly expensive cam. It's like $400 just for the cam. I might be wrong. I mean, you can double check and tell me, but it's a Skog & Dickey Parts Center cam. That's the part number, and that's the lift. That's not much. So your stock LS Gen 3 LS cams, they're stock like 500 lift. This isn't much higher, obviously, but if you go to YouTube and you type in Skog & Dickey, LS cam shootout, there's a video that'll come up that'll show this cam, and it's you can keep, you obviously got to change the valve springs, but you can keep the stock torque converter. I don't know why I just went blank. You can keep the stock torque converter and you just change the springs in the cam, and the horsepower gain is like, obviously once you tune it, it's like 75 horsepower. It's up there as far as being a stock, more so stock cam, stock style cam, and not having to change much to get a 75 horsepower or whatever it was increase. You go to that video, you'll see they have some other cams too that kind of level up. But I almost got this cam for the CUDA, but I didn't want to spend $400, or it was something like that, on just the cam. But that's a good one. I'll just show you that again. Let's see. I'm sure. No, just like last time and all the other times. Just your cheap Amazon harness. And this one even comes with the adapters, injector plug adapters, so you don't have to buy those extra. Just the same thing as last time and the time before that. There you go, right there. Good old China. That's all you need. What is in this box? Y'all are going through the parts with me. I haven't gone through the parts yet. Oh, water pump. I didn't know you got a water pump. All right. Always good insurance. Just put on a water pump. Actually, it's funny. So that getting a new water pump for that. But the S10 that was in the driveway, the last video, it's in the backyard now. He brought it back to me because one of the reasons he wanted me to work on it was the water pump that came on the engine with it, of course, started leaking through the weep hole. So really dealer's choice if you want to get a water pump and just throw it on while the engine's already out, is just gasket. Obviously you want to replace your front and rear gaskets while it's out. That's cheaper insurance too, unless when your rear gasket starts leaking, you just want to pull the whole, you want to pull the transmission off again. I don't know what this is, but it's heavy. Oh, it's a whole new compressor. I don't think he needed that. So obviously, you see how many ribs it is. The AC. This is the AC bracket. It's on eBay. This is the AC bracket to mount the stock R4 compressor onto the LS. Hold on, you got to get real close to this bag real quick. Oh, no, I got it. Oh, come on. One hand. So this is the bracket. Obviously there's no, I was thinking there'd be a part number on this, but you just, it's on eBay. Just type in that, and I think it's like $130. You have to get a different tensioner, but it just mounts to the block in the passenger side head, and it'll sit right here on the engine. Your tensioner will go up here. The bracket sits right there. You obviously got to get a longer belt, but it tells you in the description when you're looking at it online, it tells you what belt to use. I don't think it's on the paper, but obviously that's the instructions. I really don't need to pull it out to show you. You'll see it at the end anyways. But yeah, that's all it is. I believe, transmission cooler. Always get the transmission cooler, always. Highly recommended. Don't need it, but your 4L 60, 65, 75, 85, 95, all the fives, all the E's. Heat is their biggest issue. I'll say that every video till it catches on. This is just another stock upper radiator hose. This is another one of those GM 99 to 06 Chevy intakes, just like last video. Oh, here's the for the AC bracket. This is the tensioner setup. Let me see if there's is there a part number? No part number. All right. Is there a part number on the box? Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go. Apparently that's what you need for this AC bracket setup. Put that in there before I forget it. What else? Oh, these are the same. So these are the spark plug wires I just put on my CUDA. Porcelain ends. They're $75 on Amazon. They work. They fit good on the CUDA. They should fit okay on these headers, but we'll find out. I'll have to mock them up when I pull the engine out here in a minute and see how they fit. Might have to go back to the more 45 degree, the shorter 45 degree angle ones that I showed y'all in the C10 video, or one of the videos I showed y'all. I know I showed y'all. There's just the cheap eBay computer that's ready to go. Those are like 150, 130 bucks. Mass airflow sensor, so you always have to get the 5-pin mass airflow sensor for these wherever it went. The harness, wherever the harness went, it was somewhere up there. For the swap harness, because those swap harnesses are basically set up for LS1, LS6 engines. So he got this, but it already came with the fittings on it. So this is your Corvette fuel filter regulator that regulates 58 psi. He got this. He doesn't need it because the fuel pump he got is already regulated, but he wants me to put that on because he's got a buddy that is using the same fuel system setup he gave me. So just gonna put it on. I mean, technically it's still a filter, but you got the fuel pump regulated and then that regulates it. So I guess if the fuel pump stops regulating, that'll regulate it. Sure. You can't be too safe. You can always just get the filter like I showed in the last videos. Oh, these are the valves. Oh, let me show you all the valve springs. So this is the valve springs made in China. Because where else would they be made? Oh, this is the belt that's needed with that AC bracket. It's obviously going to be much longer. That's the belt. Oh, my phone. If you've been following along, my phone doesn't like to stay on long out here in this Texas heat, so I'm trying to hurry so I don't have to sneak attack y'all with my face just randomly popping up again. Here's the obvious, like I've told y'all in the last videos, I just always switch to drive-by cable. You can get these on eBay just like this, complete. Going from drive-by wire to drive-by cable just eliminates the hassle of dealing with no starts, because a lot of times no starts are because of drive-by wire systems not being correct. I have no idea what this is. Oh, this is the fuel pump. Let me show you on the fuel pump, because he got this. I know he got this off Amazon because I sent it to him. So this truck, this was supposed to be my very, very, very first swap. But like 2 days before he contacted me, he bought a Gen 5 motor, a 2017 Gen 5 truck motor with the 8L90, and he was talking to me about it. And I don't know much about him. I don't care to know much about him. He was talking to me about it, and then the more info I found out on it, I told him, hey, you're gonna need this, this, and this. He spent $2,200 on just the harnessing computer from PSI. He spent like $4,500 on the engine transmission, $3,500, $4,500, something like that. And that was before fuel system, mounts. He was already into that for, do the math of $2,200, $3,500, $4,500. And that's more expensive than all this we got already. So he ditched the Gen 5. He traded it for this supposedly LQ9, because I just reiterated that if you're new, because he's brand new to this stuff, doesn't know much about outside. If you're new, Gen 3, stick with Gen 3. It is a million times cheaper. It's not as cheap as it used to be, but it's obviously cheaper. Especially go look up Gen 5 stuff. The aftermarket isn't that big for it right now. For Gen 3, you can get absolutely anything from a million different companies. So, getting to the fuel system, I sent him a link for a pump that was already regulated. Oh, let me show you. A pump that was already regulated at a certain PSI, but those Gen 5 motors, they have a mechanical fuel pump under the intake. So I also sent him a link. Did I just lose the fuel pump? That's how it goes. Y'all see where I put the fuel pump? Let me know where I just put the fuel pump, because I think I lost it. Hello, can you hear me? Oh, no, that's fuel pump. Okay, we lost fuel pump. Fuel pump is lost. Oh, found it. Fuel pump is found. So just got this. I sent him this on Amazon. I think it's 60 psi is where it's regulated at. But this just drops in place of the stock fuel pump that's already in there. I think this go around with this truck, I think I'm gonna start on the fuel system first. Usually the fuel system takes like a day or two for me because trucks aren't, it's not that simple to just drop the tank if it's full. And I've actually never really done trucks, to be honest with you. I've always missed LS cars. But I might throw this in first because you can actually run this pump with the stock 5.7 TBI. So I'd be able to plop it in, keep the truck running, and then flip it around and then do the engine transmission. But we'll see. I for some reason end up doing stuff the hardest way possible, so probably not. We'll find out. You got these ground straps, not really needed, but he got them. I mean, they're good to have. I hear a million times, check your ground, make sure you got ground this, ground that, blah, 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 blah. It's not that serious, people. If you hook up the grounds that come on the harness and you hook up the negative cable ground and you just hook up whatever factory ground, usually there's a factory ground wire from the body to the back of the engine or something, or frame engine, whatever, you're good. It's plenty. But you can throw as many grounds as you need to. This is the fuel system. Of course, he didn't get the fuel system I recommended. Or did he? No, he got push on. So we're doing push on this round. But I actually shouldn't use much of this. I'm going to see what I can do about just putting on to the stock fuel lines. Oh, no. I don't know. We'll see. I just thought about something else. Would have preferred the other fuel lines, but just because they're much easier to just put on the barbed fuel lines from my other videos. But if y'all want braided, this is what he got. I get these on Amazon too. This is just to hook it up to the back of the alternator, the post on the back of the alternator, and then just run it straight to the battery for your charging, rather than making a wire or something. What else we got? Oh, that's just a regulator that we don't need anymore because that was for the Gen 5 setup. Oh, sorry. I don't want to look at my chicken legs. These are bolts for... These are just the transmission bolts to bolt it up to the engine. Bolt the transmission up to the engine. That's basically it. This is... this is a good one to show y'all. So everybody, y'all, I'm sure y'all see a lot of, get the high volume, high pressure oil pump, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Get you the stock milling oil pump. This is what I have on my Cuda, and it's perfect. I also put this on the S10 that's in the backyard too. The oil pressure PSI is just above 40 at hot idle, and I mean hot because it is hot in Texas. And then it just goes up, shoots up with RPM. I mean, I've cruised, and with the PSI, I've cruised like 60 with the PSI, just chilling at 50, and then it goes down at when you stop and just sits right there at 40. This is the timing chain set up to put on for the cam. This is all just the cam. Just head bolts, head gaskets. That's just the lifters and whatnot. Oh, Amazon guy's here. I don't know if he's for me though, but that's the end of this video anyways. That's the parts. I'll see y'all next video, and we'll have had some work done to the truck. Hope these parts help y'all out with the cheaper route. See y'all next time.